Voters keep saying over and over again, we are not comfortable with this level of immigration. I understand why. It doesn't make you a racist to say that. And yet, the liberal parts of, certainly in America, Alex Padilla said last week, he is our senator here, by reviving Trump's asylum ban, Biden has undermined American values. And then they all stand back and go, we don't want to be called a racist, so we will not make a move on immigration.
Buckle up, guys, because this debate isn't cooling down anytime soon. Voters across America keep repeating the same concern. Immigration feels out of control. And saying that doesn't automatically make someone racist. But in today's political climate, even raising the question gets you labeled. That fear has paralyzed leadership, especially on the left, where image often outweighs honest conversation.
It's again the same principle as I was saying before about like the reverse of what liberalism really is. Liberalism is, for the sake of humanity and compassion, can we get these people off the streets? And woke is, how dare you ask them to move? This is their home.
They have rights.
No, it's not. There's easily a better solution to this. Instead, they put them in hotels? That's your answer, hotels? Could everybody just stop the posturing?
Bill Maher has officially stepped into the fire, arguing that sanctuary city politics were never practical to begin with. He claims he warned Democrats early, but they refused to listen. Now major cities are overwhelmed, budgets are bleeding, and leaders who once championed open-door policies are scrambling for solutions they never prepared for.
Don't pretend that you love migrants so much, and then when we send them to you, you don't like them. You know? Mm-hmm. You're full of mm-hmm. And we can see that. Yeah, you like them when it wasn't your problem because you're not a border state. And then when they show up in Chicago and New York, you're like, what are we going to do with these people?
Yeah.
Maher draws a sharp line between what he calls true liberalism and modern woke politics. Real liberalism, he says, means solving problems, not romanticizing them. Compassion should mean getting people off the streets into real support systems, not leaving them there under the banner of empathy.
Eventually, this was going to come to a neighborhood near you. Having someone embedded is a good start. That came from the Secretary of Homeland Security. We want to thank him. But I've been very clear on what we need. We need to control the border. We need to call a state of emergency, and we need to properly fund this national crisis.
The hypocrisy argument hits hardest when migrants are bused to blue states like New York and Illinois. Leaders who once preached limitless compassion suddenly sound overwhelmed. Shelter systems burst, emergency funds are drained, and rhetoric shifts fast. It's easy to advocate open borders when the pressure isn't in your backyard.
Alex Padilla said last week, he is our senator here, by reviving Trump's asylum ban, Biden has undermined American values. And then they all stand back and go, we don't want to be called a racist, so we will not make a move on immigration. It's going to get them at Election Day. It's happening in Europe right now. That proves it in Europe, and it's going to happen here in America.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams is a prime example. Once proud of sanctuary branding, he now calls for stronger border control and federal intervention. The reality of overflowing shelters and ballooning costs forced a dramatic tone change. Ideals met reality, and reality hit harder.
It's going to get them at Election Day. It's happening in Europe right now. That proves it in Europe, and it's going to happen here in America.
There's a real moral reason that we should let people into this country who are suffering
at any number.
No, I mean,
but that's their point. 64% of Latinos support giving the president authority to shut down the U.S. borders. 62% of registered voters would deport all migrants living in the U.S. illegally.
Hate immigrants.
They don't hate immigrants.
Meanwhile, Senator Alex Padilla criticized stricter asylum policies as undermining American values. But behind the scenes, many Democrats privately acknowledge the strain. Publicly, though, few dare to challenge the party line, fearing backlash from the loudest activist wings.
What do you New Yorkers think of how Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul?
Yes, you pronounced it right.
I take it you're a big fan. Have handled the city's migrant crisis. I saw today they're offering any of these migrants, this sounds like a game show, a plane trip to anywhere in the world. There's policy, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. Poll numbers complicate the narrative even more. Large portions of registered voters, including many Latino voters, support stronger border enforcement. That challenges the assumption that tighter controls equal hostility toward immigrants. Many legal immigrants argue that structure protects opportunity rather than destroys it.
But didn't some of these places sort of deserve it? I'll ask you this. By saying we're a sanctuary city, like how these terrible racist border states were, and then when they called their bluff and sent the migrants to them, they were like, suddenly they weren't quite so liberal. They're what I call liberal in theory people. No. A lot of people are liberal in theory, and when the migrants arrived, they were like, what the
When New York offered migrants plane tickets to relocate elsewhere, it felt more like desperation than policy. The idea sounded bold, but few accepted. Migrants didn't risk everything to land anywhere, they came specifically for America. That exposed how shallow some crisis responses had become.
Part of this is a backlash to how badly Biden handled the immigration situation. It can't just be like come one, come all. Which
Dude,
it was.
There's plenty of room here, and we need
room.
There's plenty of room in America. Come on, there's not a lack of room in America.
But it's never about room. It's about resources and about like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be. I mean, they've done surveys and something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America if you could? Yes, I would. Why wouldn't they? Lots of countries, are holes,
right?
And they would love to be here. You can't
I'm not right. No, right. The places aren't holes, but
well, they are. That's why they want to come.
And it's usually because of America, what America's done.
Maher's core argument is blunt. It's not about physical space. It's about resources. Housing, healthcare, education, and public services have limits. A nation can be compassionate while still maintaining borders. Without structure, compassion collapses under its own weight.
Parents don't like it that the left seems to have this unrelenting negativity toward the country that these immigrants work so hard to get here.
Good point.
They really worked hard to get here. And when Trump says, I think a lot of them are going, yeah, you're right, it's a hole where I came from. Why do you think I got on the ocean on a raft or walked 1,000 miles? Because I was living in paradise? There are places that are in this world, and the immigrants know it.
In the end, this debate isn't about hate versus kindness. It's about sustainability. America can remain a beacon of opportunity, but only if order, law, and stability remain intact. Whether voters reward or punish current leadership at election time may depend on who finally decides to speak honestly about that balance.